Welcome back, music enthusiasts. Today we are doing the Dorian mode. And bass players and guitar players, I've got a treat for you. This is a twofer. You're going to get two concepts for the very low price of just one. Not only are we going to learn the Dorian mode, we're going to learn where it comes from and how to think about it, but we're going to understand the unique challenge that this mode poses. And we're going to get over this challenge using something I call the position shift. It's like a position change, only sneakier. The position shift not only makes the Dorian mode much easier to play, but this is an invaluable skill to anybody trying to play notes on the fretboard. If you don't know what a mode is, or if you still have confusion surrounding modes, I highly recommend that you watch my lesson on modes where I explain all of that. But for today, I'm just going to give you a quick reminder of the Dorian mode. The Dorian mode is the 2 mode of the major scale, which means that if I start on the second note of a major scale, let's say C major scale, it gives us all the white keys in the piano. Well, if I start on the second note, that's a D, and I play from D all the way up to the higher D, using those same notes from the C major scale, that's my Dorian mode. How we're going to think about the Dorian mode is in relation to the minor scale. So I've got my modes sheet here, and we see Dorian. Let's pass that up for a second. Let's go down to number 6, which is actually just the minor scale, the natural minor scale. And I see the natural minor scale has a flat 3, a flat 6, and a flat 7. We might know this already. And I'm going to think about the Dorian mode in relation to that mode. So I should know the minor scale pretty well already. And I'm going to make one single adjustment to that to create a Dorian mode. Going back up to Dorian here, we'll notice we have circled in red that adjustment. So the minor scale has a flat 6. We would see that right here. A flat 6 would be if we were playing a minor scale. We're going to raise that 6. So we'll call it a raised 6. And that's going to give us the Dorian mode. So when I play the Dorian mode, I can just think of a minor scale with that raised 6. So I'm not trying to learn a whole new mode here. I'm just making an adjustment to a scale, the minor scale, that I already know pretty well. We're playing D Dorian today because it has all the notes of the C major scale. It's all naturals, just makes it easy, I suppose. And so if I'm playing D Dorian, I want to start us off with D minor. So we'll just refresh that minor scale real quickly, and then we'll make our adjustment from there. Bass or guitar, doesn't matter. I'm going to be on my 5th fret on my A string. That gives me a D, and I will play the natural minor scale shape. Now, notice how I go into a closed position here. This is going to be important for later. I am choosing to collapse my position a little bit here and play finger 1 and 4. Therefore, I am covering only 3 frets instead of the normal 4 frets. And that's my minor scale. And that scale is exactly the same on guitar. Starting on the 5th fret, A string. I need to raise the 6 now because the 6 is flat in minor and I want it to be not flat. I want to play a major 6, not a minor 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's my 6th note. So my raised 6, or my major 6 in this case, would be this note here. So that's the note that I'm looking for. That's a little bit far away, and as it turns out, I have that same note back here. Let's check that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not 6, but 6. Same note. I'm just going to go to the next string for that note. This ends up being our Dorian mode. I got to make a position change here. Scale degrees 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5. Real quick position change to get that note that I need. Major 6, regular 6, flat 7, and that's our octave. And again, on the guitar, it's the same thing. Got that 6 back here, make a move for that. And back down. Make the move. The whole problem with the Dorian mode is that position change. And when we play the modes in our standard pattern, so if we start on, like, say, finger 1 or 2, and we take 3 strings to complete that mode. I call that our standard or our primary pattern. The Dorian mode presents the unique challenge of having to do that position change, which really kind of makes it a little bit of a pain for us. But as I mentioned, I have a solution for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a closed position when I get to scale degree 5. So I've got my 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to close that up. Remember when I played my flat 7 and my octave earlier? And I closed up that position? Well, I'm going to do that on scale degree 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to pull this in. Use finger 4. Normally you'd use finger 3 here. I'm going to pull this in, use finger 4. And so all I've done is go into a closed position. I've just tightened that up just a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is, like an inchworm, I'm going to scoot back the other way. I'm going to shift my position back the other way. And now I can easily reach this scale degree 6. And I can finish the scale from there. Let's review. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Close it up. 5. Open it back up the other way like an inchworm. 6, 7, and 8. As I start to bring this up to speed, it looks more like this. And it works the same way going back down. So starting at the octave, I go 8, 7, 6, 5. So far, so good. Scrunch it up, scrunched up the inchworm, hit scale degree 4, and then throw yourself out this way to reach that scale degree 3. And here we have it on guitar again. Let's look at that position shift. Close it up, expand back. Close it up, expand back. If you are not used to doing a position shift, if this is a new concept for you, then you will likely need to practice it, as we need to practice all new concepts when it comes to our instruments. As usual, I don't want you to play through the whole mode just to get sort of bogged down at that position shift. I want you to micro rehearse or spot rehearse that area. So just take that one spot, that one tiny area that might be giving you problems. If it's the position shift in this case, then that's what you work on. Here's how that looks. I'm going to get myself in a position. I go, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Great. That's where I need to be. That's where my issue is. Maybe that's where I'm having problems kind of developing that position shift. And so I'm just going to go from 4 to 5 to 6 and back. And I'm going to go down to 3 as well, because that's where that inchworm is crawling back and forth. And I'm literally just working that part of the pattern. And I slowly build up speed. Form and function first. So make sure everything looks really good. Got 4th finger on that scale degree 3. 1st finger here, scrunch it up, push it back. And I'm just working that section. Guitar players work that same area the same way. And I'm making sure that it looks really good and it feels really good and it's solid. I don't want you to sort of kind of get the position shift and then try and rip the Dorian scale through as fast as you can. I want you to build the muscle memory using patience. Enjoy the process. Just marinate in that position shift for a little while and then start expanding it out to the rest of the scale. And then once you're fairly confident with that, then you can go ahead and push through and get that whole Dorian mode going all at once. The concept of a position change is that you need access to new notes that you don't currently have access to. You need to reach a note that you aren't currently covering. So a position change always interrupts the playing a little bit. Now we want to get good enough at position changes so that we're confident with them and we can take them without worrying about it and have all the access of notes that we want to. But if I can make things easier on myself, if I can make that music flow just a little bit better, just a little bit easier, a little bit smoother, then I'm going to do that. And the position shift allows us to easily get access to new notes without having to sort of pick up and move. Remember when I played my mode without the position shift, I had to fly back and get that 6 up there and then come back again to descend my scale. So instead of, I can do, and it's just much smoother that way. I'm more anchored to my fretboard. I stay anchored to my fretboard, and I can shift into a different direction without having sort of the volatility involved or the risk involved of missing a note with the true position change. I love position shifts. I will use them in many different scales in many different ways. The Dorian mode is the only time we have our scale in our sort of standard pattern that it actually requires that position shift. But there are other times when you're playing pieces of different scales. If you're continuing to a second octave or starting a scale on a finger that's not finger 1 or 2 in your standard pattern, then that position shift will present itself. Once you know about it, once you are practiced at it and confident with it, you can probably find yourself using it in multiple situations. And guitar players, just as a reminder, these patterns work on your low 4 strings, E, A, D, G. You cross the B string, everything changes. So learn this pattern really well, and then learn how to alter that pattern as you cross the B string in different locations within the pattern. That's your lesson today on the Dorian mode and the position shift. You got 2 for 1. Practice it slowly, piece by piece. Gain confidence, and you'll get to where you want to go. My name is Alex with stepbystepmusic.com. I appreciate you being here today. Now, go get some practicing done.